Hey my little raggedies, what is up? How are you doing? How are you feeling? If you are new here, I am Rana Swan. I'm not homeless or houseless, but I am hiding in my car from my husband and my kids. Reading update, y'all. I DNF'd 4 books this month. 4. We already talked about our DNF Boomtown. I already told y'all DNF Break Her Silence. I just recently DNF'd 2 more books. One is called The Nothing Man, which is a thriller. I think the books that I'm DNFing, these last 2, I am going to spin the block and read them at another time. And the only reason why I'm spending a block on them at another time is because I bought them. So because I bought them, I feel like I have to read them because I don't want to be wasteful. So I DNF'd The Nothing Man because I just really wasn't into it. I think I'm not really in the mood for any dark themes at the moment. And then with Have We Met, I DNF'd that because it was right off the heels of me reading Just for the Summer, which I loved. So going from reading the writing from Just for the Summer into reading Have We Met, those are 2 completely different writing styles. And what threw me off about Have We Met is that I do not like when authors who are not naturally funny try to add humor to their books and it just falls flat. Like, I can tell when somebody is not funny and they're trying to be funny. It's very obvious for me. Yeah, so I'm like, this is not gonna work for me. I appreciate the effort in you trying to add humor and cute little moments, but the writing is just, it's not hitting at the moment. And I need something that's just really going to lift my spirits and not make me feel like, oh my gosh, when is this over? Which is why I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick up The Black Mother of Hollywood by Jenifer Lewis, because Jenifer is a hilarious woman. And reading that first little prologue that I read with you guys in one of those other videos, maybe it was the last video or the video before last, whatever. Well, child, if you watch the video, you know when I read this prologue for this. If you're new here, then it was a video that's called Books That Hook You on the First Page or some shit like that. I don't know. Scroll down, you'll see it. So I read the prologue and it tickled me, and then the first page tickled me. So I was like, I'm gonna pick up Jenifer's book and read it because I really want something that's gonna make me laugh. Like, that's what I need right now. And I did download The Filling Station by Vanessa Miller, which is a historical fiction about the Tulsa Race Massacre. And I was like, dang, I keep picking up all these books that's supposed to be about Tulsa, and hopefully The Filling Station does what it needs to do. Yeah, I know I read Blackbirds in the Sky, and I was just like, this is more like for teaching Black history. And then I read Angel of Greenwood. That book didn't really get to the point. We had some kitty romance. Child, we didn't get down to them being ambushed until about 70% of the book. And by then, it was like glossed over. And then the book ended. I feel like I didn't get what I needed. I didn't get what I came for. Now I have The Filling Station downloaded, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go again. So I'm hoping that I like it. Everybody who has read that particular book, they really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that I can enjoy it too. Next week on Monday, I am reading Homeward. Yeah, I am reading Homeward with my Discord group, Raggedy Reads, over on Discord. This is a new thing for those of you who are like, Discord, when do you do that? Yeah, this is a new group. It is a buddy reading group where we'll be reading one book every 3 weeks. So if you do join the Discord, don't expect me to be in there moderating. This is a buddy reading group, so there's no moderator. We're all in there kicking it, okay? Like, of course, if there's like an issue or whatever, like, I can remove comments and remove people or whatever, but I'm not in there like, hey y'all, how's you doing, what you reading today? Like, I'm not doing that. If you want to come in there and share what your job of the day, your outfit, your drink, your book, if you want to come in there and yap about the book that you're reading, like, you know how sometimes you'll read a book and you be like, dang, I wish I was reading this with somebody, or dang, I wish I knew somebody who read this, so I want to talk about it. You can go into the Discord and say, hey y'all, have anybody read this book, and how did you feel about this? And you can create your own conversation with people within the group that that you're getting to know. Because yeah, I just wanted it to be like an open space for those who don't necessarily like the strictness of book clubs, but still want to engage and talk to others about books, whether you're reading the book that we're reading in the Discord or you're reading something else. There's different spaces for different things. So if you want to join the Discord, go right ahead. I'm gonna pin the link in the comment section, and yeah, we're gonna continue to grow and expand. And yeah, so yeah, back to what I'm reading. So far, I'm still on chapter 1. I literally just picked this book up because I was like, I want to read something light. So I'm still on chapter 1. So far, she's talking about her experience on Blackish, preparing for that role, the things that she had to do to prep herself, a little bit of self-doubt that she experienced before entering into that role. She really had to remind herself of who she is. Like, I'm Jenifer Lewis. Why are you so nervous? Why are you so fearful? Like, come on, get it together. Do you know who you are? So she really went through it was a bit of a mind over matter situation for her when it came to her role on Blackish. But yeah, I'm only on page 7, y'all. So I'm going to finish chapter 1. The sun is setting. Hopefully when I go back inside, the kids will be calm and out of my face. Out of my face.
I visited the Church of St. Francis, where some local women were singing folk songs in the courtyard. I admired their beautiful harmonies, and when they beckoned me forward, I joined them. Actually, I just barged in and sang baritone. They good-naturedly allowed me to arrange them like the Supremes, drawing on the poses I had been taught by Michael Bennett himself during rehearsals for the workshop production of Dreamgirls. On a small boat from Dubrovnik back to the Seven Seas, there was an older Caucasian-American man who took it upon himself to extra notice me, a middle-aged black woman traveling alone on a VIP ship. He knew that if in fact I was alone, I had paid $9,000 more than he had, the nasty little single occupancy fee. For some ungodly reason, this man yelled over the boat's motor, "So where'd you get your money?" I turned slowly. Would he ask a white man this question? Right. Was this mofo implying a black woman shouldn't have money? I was this close to pushing him overboard. No doubt the old Jenifer Lewis would have cussed him out in a rage-fueled tirade. But as a person with bipolar disorder who spent 17 years in therapy, I had finally learned to control my rage and was grateful for the behavioral skills and medication that gave me that control. I took 3 deep breaths and decided not to slap the shit out of him. Instead, I said, oh, you didn't know? I own the 7 seas. His much too young wife, naively believing my statement, chimed in with a high pitch, oh, really? I returned the oh, really, in a deep low pitch Betty Davis used responding to Joan Crawford in the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Oh, really? The mic had been dropped on the shores of Dubrovnik, another war had been won, and not a single life had been taken.
I know this ain't Pocahontas. Okay. Hold on. What's a juvenile? So I finished Jenifer Lewis's The Black Mother of Hollywood. So let's talk about it. I really enjoyed this book. I feel like for me, it felt like talking to not necessarily like your grandmother, but like that cool auntie or that cool elder cousin who's actually your mama's cousin, you know? So it just felt like sitting down with a family member while she tells you all her crazy stories. One thing that I did appreciate about Jenifer's story is that she didn't shy away from the things that brought her pain. And she didn't have the typical addiction that you normally see in Hollywood. She had a very, very specific, unique addiction that she talks about that not everybody necessarily even realizes a problem, or not everybody feels open enough to talk about, especially from a woman's perspective, because there is a lot of shame that comes with her specific addiction that she was talking about. So I appreciated her being open with her audience and talking about just her experience with her past, her mom, you know, unfortunately her many different assaults, her experience with relationships and not necessarily desiring to be married, her thoughts on motherhood. I appreciated her many relationships that she talked about throughout the story. I appreciated her humor that she added to the story to keep the readers engaged. Now, I will say it's not in chronological order, so it does feel a bit scattered. But like I said, to me, it just felt like a wise auntie telling her life story. And she had a lot of different moments throughout the story where I'm like, did this really happen? I mean, Jenifer, when I say this lady has lived an amazing, adventurous life, from kicking down doors to smacking and throwing people to saying the most craziest things to Tupac. Like, she has lived an unimaginable life, and to be able to experience her writing and to read it while she is still walking this earth is a joy, because you know, a lot of people don't get their stories told until they're gone. So I'm very, very happy that I picked this up, and I'm very happy that she was able to tell her life story in her own way without someone else telling it and watering it down out of fear of bringing shame to her name, because that's sometimes that happens. Like, someone will pass away and someone else will try to tell their story, but they don't really dig into like the ugliness of it because they want to be respectful, or they might take it too far, and that person is like from the grave like, I ain't never did that. So I'm glad she was able to tell it from her own point of view and her own words. She is a phenomenal advocate for mental health, and I'm so glad that she talked about her journey to getting well and, you know, encouraging others to do the same. So one of my favorite quotes is, I've learned in life that what you give to others is what provides the most value to your life. There I was, a mess myself, yet I still had something to offer that would have an effect on another person's world. And I couldn't agree more, Miss Jenifer. So I do have my reading journal here, and I am going to be writing a little small review in it. I'm going to be adding a little background, kind of doing like a little scrapbook style. And yeah, come on, let's get it done. So this time around, I did not use my Canon IV printer because last time I used it and I didn't have much space. So we're gonna use this for other things, I think. And reading journals is probably not gonna be one of them, but it's okay. So yeah, this is how it came out. Very simple and cute. So it just says title, I keep saying the Black Mother of Hollywood. The Mother of Black Hollywood, author Jenifer Lewis, year published 2017. How many pages? 307. I started on, I believe, the 16th, and then I ended yesterday, the 17th. But I could have started the 15th, but it doesn't matter. I did the physical and audio. I do recommend that if you do decide to read this, to do the audio, because it makes the story more lively, just listening to Jenifer's voice, rather than just reading it in your mind or out loud or whatever. I gave it an overall rating of 5 stars. Normally I don't rate memoirs and things like that, but for the sake of the book journal, I just put 5 stars because I did enjoy it. The ending was good. I gave it 4 stars. The pacing, 4 stars. The writing style, like I said, it did feel a bit disjointed, so I gave the writing style 3 stars. But Jenifer is not an author, so that's to be taken into consideration when going into this and reading it. And yeah, favorite quote, or one of the favorite quotes that I wrote down is, "There is no greater journey than the journey within." And then for thoughts and notes, I just added another quote, just some takeaways that she wrote in her book, that says, "The elevator to success is broken, take the stairs." The next one says, "It is when your heart is hit that you mustn't quit. Love yourself so that love will not be a stranger when it comes." So yeah, what y'all think? Y'all like the little scrapbook style paper in the back? I like this one better than the last one I did. The last one I did, crazy. I don't even know what that was. But yeah. Anywho, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave me a swan or a heart in the chat, and tell me if you've read this book. Give me any recommendations for memoirs that you've read that you really enjoyed. So far, I have read Will by Will Smith and Cicely Tyson's book. I have Viola Davis's memoir on my list. I've read All Boys Aren't Blue. I've read Somebody's Daughter. So every now and then I do sneak in a memoir. So if you know of any really good ones, drop them down in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.